Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. And today we are getting into Lego set 76265, the Batwing Batman vs. the Joker. Now you can see from the emblem right here that this is from the 90s movie. Now, this one in particular is from I believe the original movie, obviously because it has the Joker in it. But I say it in that context because previously on the channel, you can check that video out, I purchased this version of the 90s Batman, but this was actually from Batman Returns, which was the second Batman. So where he fought the Penguin and whatnot. On the package, I can't remember if the packaging had the background of that movie, but generally speaking, off just the symbol or whatnot, you could be mistaken to think that this was the first Batman movie version, but they're really the same thing. So the context is very just kind of minute in terms of the differences. But nonetheless, this one is specifically for the first Batman where he had the Batwing in it and you had the Joker. This set has 357 pieces, age 8. You could see here you have that image just like in the movie where the plane shot up to the moon and created the bat symbol in the moon in the movie. Here you have the stud shooters. The cockpit opens up and you have storage. So, and then also too, it's supposed to have a feature where it can hang on the wall, I guess on a nail, if you had a nail on a wall or a hook. So that's pretty good in itself. There you have the Batman figure. And here he has the soft cape because obviously he needs to be able to get into the Batwing. So we're going to open this up and see how many bags we have. Okay, so now I was actually curious about getting this set for a while, but I was waiting for it to go on sale because its normal price is about $37 and I happen to be able to catch it for 30. I'm going to throw a link in the description for where you could purchase this on Amazon. I'm also waiting for the other set that goes along with it to go on sale, which is the Batmobile, often over $40, but I have seen sales in the past for I think about $30 as well, but at the time I wasn't able to purchase it. So when that sale time comes around, I will try to jump on that. But I was happy to be able to pick this up. Hopefully we don't ruin the box here. Here we go. Let's see if this opens up easy. Here we go. Not too bad. So anyone who grew up with that movie at the time would definitely be a big fan of these sets that came out in regards to the movies, because you had a lot of Batman sets in the past but never catered to those older movies, the Michael Keaton movies, which for a lot of people, those are the fan favorites. And even though the other Batman movies are pretty good, some of the ones that came later, sorry, you guys. But even though the movies that came out later weren't that bad, and I don't mean the ones continuing from that time frame, but then replaced Michael Keaton, but just referring to the Christian Bale movies and whatnot, and they're all great, but the nostalgic feel for a lot of people to get figures based around the Michael Keaton movies is the most ideal because a lot of his vehicles into that movie were just iconic. Let's see, we got 4 bags total. And we're going to get into that. Here goes the stickers. So it's not a lot of stickers, so that's great. It seems like a very simple set from what I've seen on it, though it still has a good amount of dense pieces. If you catch it at a good price, I think at $30 is a pretty good price. At about, I think it normally goes for 37. I think it's a little bit of a crunch at that point because you really, for the pieces that you're getting and whatnot, it really starts getting a little high up there. If I was to give it some context, So one of the latest speed champions that I had purchased, which was the Mustang, which had over 300 pieces. I forget the exact amount, but it was over 300 pieces. Went for about $26, 26, maybe $27. This being at $37 for roughly maybe about an extra 40, 45 pieces, somewhere in that ballpark. Granted, I mean, they're both licensed products, but my point is that it's a little bit of a stretch at that point to pay almost $10 more, to pay $10 more for a set that has roughly almost the same amount of pieces, just a little bit more. So we're going to get into this. We're going to put this set together really quick, and we'll be back with the review. All right, you guys, welcome back. Now, as we jump into the final build of the Batwing, I want to definitely say that the build was actually fun to put together. It's very interesting how the pieces go together. It's not a hard build at all, to be honest with you. It flows nice. It doesn't feel tedious. It doesn't feel at all like it's one of those builds where you feel like it's taking a really long time. It is only 357 pieces, but just something about the flow of it goes very nicely. Um, and some of the techniques, like the back piece here, um, and a few other techniques along in it, is pretty nice as far as the way they're done. It's very interesting. So it's a pretty simple build, but one thing, as far as the complexity of what's going on, what you see going on it, meaning that as far as play features and things of that sort, you have these which are supposed to represent windbreaks as they come up, air brakes, and obviously you have the cockpit area, you have your stud shooters, and these flaps right here, they can move, but they're generally geared to be in this downward position. Now, there's going to be a print magnet because of all the smooth surfaces, but I think it looks really nice, and the way it's designed is actually just very nice. On the bottom, this right here, which is the one of the first parts that you put together, is for you to hang it on a nail on the wall, so that way you get that kind of look like this. Let me just change the angle a little bit so I can hold this up and you guys can see it a little better. Okay. So if it's on the wall, have that look. And they actually displayed this on the back of the box. If you look earlier in the video, when I first displayed the box, you'll see it on the back of the box. Now, I'm really a big fan also of scaling. Now, anyone who knows and watches this channel, especially when I deal with other types of figures and things of that sort, other types of toys, similar to like the Jurassic Park line, Jurassic World line, scaling is always something that I'm really big on. And also too, when it comes to the Lego, even though Lego generally, for the most part, Lego has their own kind of scaling when it comes to figures, because everyone knows minifigures are not regular human figure scale. They're almost, but they're just a little bit too wide. um so generally speaking, we'll say the average person might be, their shoulders might be a foot and a half in terms of width. The minifigure is about maybe 2 feet in their shoulders, and then when you add the extra on their arms, the length of their arms, I'll use Joker since he has nothing in his hands right now. With the length of the arms, it's almost the equivalent of 2.5 feet wide. Now, at least from this part of the arms. Obviously, the torso can fit on 2 studs. Now, the way I measure things out, and I'll take his hat off just to give this measurement so you'll understand what I'm saying, and then what I'm going to get into in terms of the measurement of the Batwing. So you could see that a figure here, the average minifigure is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the tip of his head brings it almost to 6 studs long, or height if he was standing up. So 6 studs tall. So you could easily say the minifigure is somewhere between like 5 and some change feet, almost 6 feet. But let's just round off to 6 feet then to say that six every stud equals the length of a foot. Um, the Batwing. Let me put his hat back on. The Batwing, and I'm sorry once again, I'm under the weather, so my voice is a little off. The Batwing measurement is actually supposed to be in length from, I guess, the furthest point to the tip to the furthest point, we'll say to the wing here, which is the furthest point back, we'll say is, the tip to tip in terms of the length. It's supposed to be 18 and a half feet. We'll just round it off to say 19 feet, which is interesting because in the movie, the Batwing is actually very small. I don't think a lot of people realize that. When you see Batman in it, size of the cockpit, how big it is, it's actually a very small ship. Now, with that being said, if you count each stud as 1 foot, this thing is about 26 feet long. So what's interesting about that is it's not that far off from being the actual scale of the ship. And that all depends on where they're measuring it when they measure the ship, in terms of, at what points do they measure these little tips or do they not? But, generally speaking, so the scale of it is actually pretty fitting. So that's interesting. Um, let's just check out the characters real quick. This is Batman. Now, this is obviously the 1989 Batman from the first movie. So we're going to call that the first movie. And then the second movie is Batman Returns. So you could see here his design for this is the first Batman movie. And I got his batterings in his hand. I'm going to take them out. And in this figure right here, the mask has its own eyelids, so that way you don't have to put those eyelid spacings or like goggles on the actual face print, which I think actually is good because then you can have just a regular head. And even though this set doesn't come with hair, I have hair from the Robert Pattinson Batman on hand. So obviously it doesn't look like the hair of from Michael Keaton. Sorry, I had a brain fart there for a moment, from Michael Keaton, but nonetheless, it's a Batman's hair. But you get the point as far as like he doesn't have the goggles on there, so you can throw hair on without disrupting the head, which on some Batmans you have those little goggle pieces. Now I also want to show a quick comparison from this right here. I will take his batterings out of his hand. This is the Batman from Batman Returns. Now, the reason why is because the polybag specifically says that on it, that's the version it's from. I think it says the 1991, but nonetheless, you know that that's from the Batman Returns. Even though they're both supposed to be the same, they're Michael Keaton. Um, this one really tries to be the likeness of the one from part 1 and 2 for the most part. But the only difference is I think that his chest armor became a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? It was a little more, it wasn't as fluid, for lack of a better word, where the original Batman movie had like the muscles on it, and then the second one looked more like armor. So if that makes sense, you can see the icons are a little bit different on the chest because this one resembles the first Batman symbol, and then the second one was a little more smooth or streamlined, I would say, for lack of a better word. Here goes the goggles, like I was talking about before, which works for the cowl normally, but the problem with it is that in this one, it solved the problem by giving you another face without that on it. So if you had to throw hair on him, it's not going to work on this side, but it does work on that side. So that's fine. I'm just comparing the two. Obviously, this is the one that comes with the set, but if you want to also get this one, it's only $5. You can find it at Target for $5. Um, But if you don't have a Target near you, I'm going to throw that one in the link in the description as well, along with obviously this set in the link in the description. So that is Batman. Now let's take a quick look at Joker. And this Joker comes with the hat. The difference between this Joker and the one that is for the Batmobile of the same line is that one comes with the green hair. That's the only difference. One thing that they missed the opportunity on, and I know sometimes they try to say that Lego, I don't know why I heard this one time where they said Lego doesn't like doing guns, which is not true because they've done guns for many years. I've had older Lego sets with like cowboy like cavalry and whatnot. They had handguns and this and that. So I don't really know what the big deal is. I say that to say that in this scene, he had a long handgun, six shooter or revolver type of pistol with a really long nozzle, and he shot the Batwing down in that scene, in the scene that the Batwing appears. And it's kind of a shame that he didn't come with that because that would have been very iconic for this scene right here. So that was definitely a major wasted opportunity with that. But he's still a great looking figure. Um, Very great looking figure. Hat looks nice. Just really good. Definitely has that feel, like you can see. To me, he gives that Jack Nicholson vibe. So, not that you're able to squeeze out a whole bunch of detail on Legos, but here over here are all the additional parts. There's nothing special about them. They're not necessarily pieces that you would use. This, I just stacked together all of the stud shooters that would go with the ship. And one thing that was really nice about this is you only had 3 stickers, which is perfect. And they all go for the inside of the cockpit. So it's nice that you don't have a set that has like a ton of stickers, like 10 stickers or whatnot. It was very easy to manage. Sorry. This is the cockpit. Now, it's nice. They have a whole bunch of buttons on there in the stickers. For those of you who are anti-stickers, I know it's going to probably suck, but nonetheless, you're getting a lot of stuff in there. Even on this side of the sticker here, there's like a lever. The only reason why I know to look for that is because I actually took a look at the bigger model online just to see its inner details as I was trying to find out the how big the ship was, because it said on the little sticker plaque that comes with it, like a UCS type of set before Batman. And they had like the actual lever on it because it was the bigger model. So that's why I realized that was the little lever right there. It's hard to see, but if you purchase this set, you'll notice that. But all the little buttons, controls there and that right there. So I think that's nice. Little simple interior, nothing over the top. Now, as far as Batman fitting in it, this is why they give him the cloth cape for this version. So that way you can get him to sit in it. Now, I didn't put him down into the studs, but nonetheless, he's in it. His cape is in it, and he fits in there fine. What's cool too is these little details here. You could think of those as the little scissors that come out and cut the balloons when he catches the balloons in the movie. So that's pretty cool too that they added that detail. Um, yeah, this is where the guns would be on the side. And I know he's got missiles somewhere also. Obviously, this is smaller, so you're going to be a little bit limited in terms of all the things that you can have on here. But nonetheless, I think it works good, and the stud shooters fit in very well integrated towards where they would be on his regular ship. In addition, he's got storage right here. So it comes with an extra set of the handcuffs, but normally it displays that you put one batarang and one handcuff in here. So already you could see you come with a total of 3 batarangs and 2 handcuffs because the other 2 are the ones that are in his hands. So he comes with a lot of weapons, so that's really cool. I wish that you could fit all of them in there, but I don't know if that's something that you would be able to do. Let's give it a try. See if we can do that. I doubt it, but See if we could make that work a little bit. Okay, we are able to make that work. That's cool that you could fit all the extras in there and it's not a problem. The only thing obviously you're not going to be able to fit in there at the same time would be your studs for shooting. But you could always put two of the studs in there and maybe just put the other three stacked up somewhere on it, just if you don't want to lose it. I usually do stuff like that sometimes. But all in all, I think this is a great set. I think it's scaling as well. I think it's great for the money. If you could catch it on sale, definitely I recommend you get it on sale as opposed to the full price. I don't think the full price is that bad, but I still think it is a little pricey for the set at $37. It definitely would be something that I feel is a little more worth the $30 range, especially if you compare its price part to price ratio with, say, um, Lego Speed Champions now, which is starting to push into the 300 piece range for about $26, $27 maybe. I feel that this set shouldn't be more than like $32 maybe. And so if you can catch it on $30 sale, jump on it. I once seen the Batmobile one also on sale, but at the time I was buying a few other things and I wasn't able to make that purchase at the time. So I'm going to be waiting for that to go on sale. But like you said before, link's going to be in the description for this. And like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.